one of the things that happens more often than not as we embark upon the journey of the soul here on earth and find ourselves with a learning vehicle or a vessel, which is our tool for learning, we're learning that we're one with everything, and in all the places in our lives that we have disaccord with that statement that I'm one with everything, and where I seem to be separate from someone else or something else because I don't want to accept that that's me, right? And this is from a spiritual premise that everything reflects back to me, my own state of mind. If I'm one with everything, there can't be anything else. But if I find myself in a situation where I think I'm separate from something else, then I'm the one who believes there's something else. Therefore, in me, there's duality. There's separation. And where there is separation, there is no harmony. Where there is no harmony, there will be sickness, suffering, pain and death and all of that sort of stuff. So I'll find myself sick. I'll find myself with a disease. I'll find myself with cancer or something life-threatening. But it's not me that is life-threatened. My life is not threatened. My body is threatened. The vessel is threatened by the mind that thinks that it's separate. The vessel is threatened by the mind that believes it is the vessel. So the alignment of identity from flesh to spirit is all that's going on the spiritual path, wherein I'm letting go of the idea that I am this body and embracing the truth about me, which is that I am mind or spirit. And spirit is the Latin word for the Greek word mind. So as I begin to confront the falsity of my life in moments of pain and suffering, whatever, and choose to take responsibility for my erroneous thinking and have it, let's say, miraculously healed or miraculously reinstalled to me as the truth of myself through prayer, meditation, everything else, then the mind becomes more and more healed, and as the mind becomes healed, the body so follows. Right, so in the Bible, and I don't like using biblical references because when you say something about the Bible, everyone goes, "Oh, yawn," So, but in the Bible, like the good man Jesus says, "By your faith alone are you healed," and that's a true thing. There is nothing truer than that. Faith is an action of mind. It's like, well, I'm going to become dependent on God for my healing, dependent on God for the miracle that will, and the miracle is not for healing particularly, but the miracle that restores to me the awareness that I am one with my Creator. And in that restoration comes all the benefits of that, which is peace, love, happiness, joy, and the flow on from that through the body becomes healing. Yeah, I've got some plonker doing 60 and 100 zone here, typical down and Seaforth, so there's not many overtaking spots. Got to pay attention to two things now. So I have a friend who's been diagnosed with something terminal at the moment, as I was once diagnosed with something requiring chemotherapy, and I refused it. I said no. I'd already begun my spiritual path. I wasn't very accomplished at it, you might say, but I knew that there was something going on there. I was aware that through my previous smaller experiments in faith, taking a leap of faith and trusting the universe to sort things out for me instead of me running around like a headless chook trying to sort it out, I was aware that there was a power greater than myself that supported me in all my doings. And I knew that I wanted to, at some point, make a connection with that fully, like to really connect with it in a solid way so that I could live it and breathe it and be one with it 24/7. And it's an on-again, off-again relationship. I'm not perfect at it yet, but I'm getting there, you know, like I've managed to apply the principles of the path, many times in my life and seen the miraculous nature of things that I thought were dead set going to fuck me over come out all good in the end, you know, through taking a leap of faith. And I'm not saying jump off a goddamn cliff, God will catch you, but I mean, you know. So I have a friend who was diagnosed recently with something, and she's putting out all the requests to everyone in her spiritual circle. Please pray for me, please this, please that. And it's like the kingdom of heaven is within. And whilst I will support anyone in their efforts to reassociate themselves properly and rehabilitate themselves properly in their thinking of themselves, there's a point wherein you realise that praying for others is nothing, but by your own faith you're healed alone, and that's it. You know, what are you going to do? Doubt Jesus? The guy walked on water apparently. So there's a point, you know, where, and I understand the frustration and the fear and everything else that comes with having a really chronic sort of disease, because having once been diagnosed with a form of cancer, I did go kind of manic there for a while. I totally lost my shit and did begin to look at all sorts of alternative healing therapies and stuff, until I realised, Dave, what the fuck are you doing? You know, the saving grace for me was the realisation that at some point in my life, unknown to me, I was just going to go off and die somewhere anyway. So what did it matter if I was 33? What did it matter if I was 93? You know, is there a difference? Of course there isn't. Was I meant to have kids at 33 if I'd have died? No, I wasn't meant to. Was I meant to at 93 if I'd have died then, or laid my body aside then? Well, maybe. But whatever's meant to be will be. And whilst that might seem harsh in its undertones, because the world can be quite a cruel place and a violent place, it does give me the impetus to get off my ass and start to look at the way I think about myself and about others, and begin to make changes that at first in me bring about a more peaceful, loving and unifying outlook, and then begin to apply that to the world around me as the situations arise for me to be able to do so. And it makes sense. It just makes sense, you know. It's pointless running around like a headless chook trying to control everything. And you realise at a certain point that all my plans and wishes and hopes and dreams are at the mercy of a world that I can't control. And if I try to spend my hours and weeks and years and, you know, decades doing that, trying to control everything so I get my own way, I'm missing out on my life. There's a whole other thing going on that I'm unaware of, that I could be involved in, that is trying to get my attention for my own good and bring me a sense of love and peace and happiness. But I'm missing it every minute of the day because I'm too absorbed in my fucking what I want and what I think I need and all of that shit. If I'm meant to have a big house or a mansion or a jet plane or whatever, I will. If it's for the greater good, that'll happen for me. If I'm meant to live in the gutter, I will. You know, it doesn't matter. God's will be done. Thy will be done, Lord, right? I don't give a fuck anymore, because giving a fuck is pain. And you have all these things, people say, you're not a quitter, you're not a loser until you quit trying or something. It's like, for fuck's sake. You know what insanity is? It's doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. If it's not working out, abandon it. Let something miraculous happen to show you what you're really meant to be doing, or how to go about it properly. You know, let go. And that's the lesson that we're learning, is letting go. And we're terrified to let go, because the last time we truly let go, we found ourselves here in the physical dimension. And this is a shithole of a place for a child of God, I tell you. Having had 2 or 3 now, having had some profound non-physical experiences, being out of my body or being no body or just pure spirit, I can guarantee you that this world is a fucking shithole. Even if you're sitting on the beach in the Caribbean with swaying palm trees and an umbrella drink. Shithole. The best dreams you have here are still just lipstick on a skeleton. You know, so let go. Embrace your spiritual path. What have you got to lose? All that's going to end up happening to you once you've processed the learning part of it is that you become more happy, you become more peaceful, you become more loving, and you give less of a fuck. And I'm not saying you give no fucks given, but you give less of a fuck until you're asked for something, and then, you know, like the means are provided by the divine for you to be able to fulfill that asking. If you step back and ask within, help me to do this. So there is no lack in God, no lack in universal mind. I don't care what you want to call the provider of all things or the source of all life, but you've got to find it for yourself. So anyway, I don't know if this is the talk I intended to have, but I think it was a pretty good one. Alright, well, I love you, and keep up the good work. I get a lot of messages from people saying they're having some amazing results in applying forgiveness and letting go and all that stuff to situations that piss them off, and from taking responsibility for those situations. You know, so the little things that happen, practice with those. You know, there are going to be big life-threatening, or what appears to be life-threatening situations show up for you that you're going to have to deal with. So use the little ones to perfect your faith and your ability to stay true to the path that will lead you only to more and more happiness. Alright? It tends to be a bit up and down at first, and unless you're willing to take some direction and learn properly from, let's say, a teacher or a book or someone who's been through it, you know, until you can learn to hear your own inner guide properly, then it's going to be hard going. So I advise you get a copy of A Course in Miracles and start reading that, and maybe watch some more of these videos. I don't know if they're going to help you, but people say they are helpful, you know. But don't trust your own thinking, because the best thing that it's ever gotten you is to listening to this video. Alright? So find yourself a guide, find yourself a teacher. Make the most of the time you have on earth to find out what your best interests are, and I guarantee you when you find out, they're going to be universal love. Alright, take it easy.